An outstanding feature of classical guitar music of the 20th century is the prolific outpourings of music written by composers outside Europe. Among these is Julio Sagreras of Argentina. Although most of his musical compositions have been neglected, several generations of guitar students from around the world have been taught, or have at least been exposed to, his didactic works, specifically the 6-volume Lecciones de Guitarra. Julio Sagreras lived during the golden age of the classic guitar in Buenos Aires as one of its most important figures. He devoted his time on the guitar as a player, composer, and teacher, achieving stature in each role. He was an embodiment of that era in Argentinian guitar history, and the musical tastes and styles of that epoch are reflected in his musical works. It can be said that Julio Sagreras' career was set at birth. Born to two guitarists, Gaspar Sagreras and Dolores Ramirez, on November 22, 1879, Sagreras grew up in a household where the guitar was an important feature of daily life. Gaspar Sagreras began to teach his son the guitar at an early age. At the age of 6, Julio was featured in recitals in Porteño Salon Society. He entered the Conservatorio Williams at the age of 12, studying piano and composition. He progressed so quickly in his musical studies that he became a professor of guitar at the Academia de Bellas Artes at the age of 20. Julio supported himself by giving concerts, teaching, and selling his compositions. Francisco Núñez, a music publisher, patronized the young Sagreras by paying a nominal price for each composition, resulting in over 100 compositions being published by the time Sagreras reached 19. By 1905, he had left the conservatory to form his own school, the Academia de Guitarra, the income from which was to sustain him through the rest of his life. During this time, Sagreras married and began to raise a family of 5 children. He sustained an average of 38 students a week throughout his career. These included amateur guitarists as well as personalities from Buenos Aires society. During the 1920s and into the 1930s, Sagreras worked on his Lecciones de Guitarra, his most recognized achievement. They are a 6-volume progressive method of studies based on the principles of Aguado and Tárrega. They were originally intended for use by his students, and he certainly did not conceive that they would become known worldwide. Sagreras' Lecciones are highly valuable for their careful and calculated integration of technique and musical development presented in a progressive fashion. They achieved a level of intrinsic beauty which is rare in the field of didactic literature. For the student who wishes to understand the intricacies and nuances of South American guitar music, they provide a source of musical forms, techniques, and rhythms that can ultimately be developed into a solid foundation for the continued study and performance of that particular genre. Sagreras associated with many of the prominent guitarists of his day. He was said to have had a pleasant, worldly character. Toward the end of his life, Sagreras was the founder and first president of the Asociación Guitarrística Argentina, the largest guitar society in Buenos Aires in 1936. His elevation to this post demonstrates the respect he was held in by the guitar community and the social astuteness he must have had to obtain such a post. Sagreras continued to compose, concentrating on didactic material until July 20th, 1942, when he died after a long respiratory illness. In his own words, as stated in the prologue of his 6th volume of the Lecciones, "I do not believe that I can consider my work finished with the publication of this volume, and if God grants me a few more years, I intend to create a new series more important than the previous one." At his funeral, the president of the Asociación Guitarrística Argentina included these words in the eulogy. Sagreras belonged to a brilliant and select generation of maestros, and became one of those who brought honor to the guitar in Argentina.